I wasn't sure of what EMS is all about, particularly for the word emerging market. It means quite differently to me before I come here. But all in all, I think the last 2 days give me a kind of a spectrum of what experiences has been in the emerging markets, and they are very different. And until and unless you speak to the person who are involved, you probably will not get the right information. You probably will not even be convinced of what's happening in different parts of the country, particularly in Russia, particularly in China, where there's been a lot of changes, but you could not get them the right information at the right time in an open market as such. So these 2 days, I think, give me a kind of a spectrum of information that summarizes as much as possible what is happening in the emerging market. And this gives you a new notion of where to bring higher education in the context of my own university, and in fact generally in other developing countries, in Asia in particular. I'm involved with this university, which is about 2 years old, and it has a different concept altogether in the sense that it is a charitable university. And it caters for the underprivileged, the marginalized, the disadvantaged, and you must come from a poor background, a minority background. It addresses the question of access and equity, which is very much part and parcel of the discussion we have for the last 2 days. It also talks about social engagement. It also talks about contributing to society as such. And therefore, there is a lot of information to be gained in terms of how you can actually structure a university in the context of an emerging market. As you know, there's a very diverse way of looking at it. So you can start and pick and choose and see what works, what do not work. And this is, I think, a very good experience for me for the last 2 days. Often, I think, we in the developing country were asked to follow a model in the Western world, in the advanced economies, and Oxford is probably one of them. Now, coming to Oxford and learning from this place that you can have different models of education, and there's nothing wrong to fit into your own context, bringing in your own values, is something which is very convincing to me. And I think that is a good point to belabor. In our context, we need to probably develop some models, learning from others, how it best fits into our own situation. I think the assembly of people here has been just perfect. I think they have done a good selection as far as participation is concerned. And I think that would probably be one of the highlights for EMS in the future.